Ladies and gentlemen, life is going to throw some punches. It's going to challenge you. It's going to try to knock you down, push you to the edge, test your limits. It might make you question whether you've got what it takes, whether you can keep going, whether you can rise above. But let me tell you something, there's one thing you've got to understand, and that's this: you are the only one standing in the way of your own success. It's you against you. And when you realize that, when you accept that responsibility, that's when things change. It's easy to blame the world, to point fingers, to say the system is rigged, to say people don't give you the chance you deserve. I get it. But the truth is, all that's out there doesn't matter until you take control of what's in here inside you. The battle is never outside, it's always inside. It's never the circumstances, it's you, it's your mind, your will, your heart. And the question is, are you going to step up or are you going to stay down? I know the struggle. I've been there. There's no easy road. It's a grind, it's sweat, it's tears, it's sacrifice. And yes, sometimes you're going to want to give up. You're going to feel like everything is stacked against you. That's when you have to dig deep. That's when you have to look in the mirror and ask yourself, do I have what it takes? Do I have the courage to face me? Because if you can face yourself, if you can overcome your own doubts, your own fears, then you can face anything. The hardest person you'll ever have to fight is the person looking back at you in that mirror. You can tell yourself all kinds of things. You can make excuses. You can say, I'm not ready. You can say, I'm too old, too young, too poor, too this, too that. But let me tell you something, excuses are the chains that keep you stuck. And it's you that put them there, nobody else but you. You're going to hear people telling you all sorts of things. Some people are going to doubt you. Some people will tell you to give up. Some will say it's too hard, that you're dreaming too big. But those people aren't living your life. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know what's inside of you. The only voice you need to listen to is the one that says, I can do this. I've got what it takes. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. It's not. It's going to be hard. And it's going to be tough. There are going to be days when you want to quit. But you know what? You can't. You cannot give up. Not today. Not ever. The world doesn't care about your excuses. The world doesn't care if you're tired or if you're hurting. What it cares about is what you're going to do with what you've been given. And it's on you to make the most of it. You've got the power to decide how your story unfolds. You've got the power to decide how hard you're going to fight. Now, don't get it twisted. This isn't about just running in place, spinning your wheels. You've got to push forward. You've got to put in the work. Day after day, hour after hour, there's no shortcut to success. You can't skip the grind. You can't take the easy way out. You've got to be relentless. Relentless in your pursuit of greatness. Relentless in your desire to be the best version of yourself. Don't wait for somebody to hand you the keys to success. You have to go out there and take it. You've got dreams, right? You've got goals, things you want to achieve, places you want to go, people you want to become. Well, guess what? That dream, that goal, it's not going to come to you just because you want it. No, it's going to come to you because you put in the work. It's going to come to you because you refused to quit when everyone else gave up. It's going to come to you because you showed up when no one else did. It's you against you. Your biggest enemy is the person who tells you that you can't. The voice inside your head that says, it's too much, I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, but you've got to shut that voice down. You've got to replace it with the voice that says, I am good enough. I am strong enough. I'm going to keep going. Don't let your doubts control you. Don't let fear paralyze you. You've got everything you need inside of you to succeed, but you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to trust that you are capable of more than you've ever imagined. And the only way to prove that to the world is by taking action. By stepping into the unknown, by facing the challenge, by showing up even when it's hard, even when you're scared. Listen to me, you have the power to shape your future. You have the power to change your life. It doesn't matter what's happened in the past. What matters is what you do right now today. You can't change the past, but you can control your future. So ask yourself, what are you going to do with this moment? What are you going to do with the time you have right now? I don't care where you come from. I don't care what your circumstances are. You have the power to rise above them. You have the power to rewrite your story, but it's up to you. It's always up to you. And it's not just about talent. It's not just about being in the right place at the right time. It's about the heart. It's about the will to push through when you feel like giving up. It's about the discipline to keep working even when. The biggest challenge you will ever face is not external circumstances, but your own doubts, fears, and limitations. It's always you against yourself. Overcoming your inner obstacles is the first step to achieving success. Success doesn't come easily. It requires consistent effort, discipline, and the willingness to push forward even when things get tough. There are no shortcuts, and you can't afford to give up. Doubt and fear will try to hold you back, but you have to silence those voices. You are capable of more than you think, and the only way to prove it is through action and persistence. Your future is in your hands. It doesn't matter where you come from or what's happened in the past. You have the power to shape your future through your choices and actions today. The greatest battle you'll ever fight is not out there. It's not with the world, not with other people, not with circumstances beyond your control. It's inside you. It's a fight against your own doubts, fears, insecurities, and limiting beliefs. That battle is constant and it's real. Every day you face yourself. Every decision you make, every step you take, you're either moving forward or you're holding yourself back. And the only one who can decide which path you take is you. See, when you look at the challenges you face, the difficulties, the obstacles, it's easy to focus on the external factors, the people who doubt you, the setbacks, the failures. But all of that, all of those things are just the surface. They're just the distractions. The real war, the one that matters, is what's going on in your mind, in your heart. It's the battle between what you believe about yourself and what you are capable of achieving. Most people don't realize that they are their own biggest enemies. It's easy to blame the world, to blame others for the things that go wrong. But truth be told, you're the one standing in the way of your own success more often than you realize. You're the one putting limits on yourself, telling yourself that something is too hard, too far out of reach, too impossible. You convince yourself that you're not enough, that you don't have what it takes, and you allow that to stop you from taking the next step. But here's the thing, every time you tell yourself that you can't do something, you're giving up before you've even tried. You're allowing your fears to control you, to dictate your choices. The truth is, fear is the greatest weapon your mind has against you. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown, fear that you won't be good enough, fear that you'll be judged, fear that you'll be embarrassed. And when you let fear take over, you hold yourself back. You stop before you even start. You let that inner voice that tells you can't win become louder than the one that says, I can do this. The battle is with that voice inside your head. The voice that tells you to give up, the voice that tells you that you're not worthy, that you're not capable, that it's too late, or that it's too difficult. But here's the reality, that voice is a liar. It's the voice of doubt. And doubt has no place in your journey. Every time you listen to it, you are allowing yourself to be defeated before you've even begun. But when you decide to ignore it, to push past that fear and that doubt, you open yourself up to the possibility of greatness. And that is the real power. You have the ability to control the narrative in your own mind. You decide how you respond to challenges. You decide how you face the obstacles. You decide whether to give in to fear or to push through it. The battle isn't about fighting the world, it's about fighting yourself. It's about controlling your thoughts and your emotions. It's about refusing to be held back by the lies your mind tries to tell you. One of the most powerful things you can do in life is take control of your thoughts. Your thoughts shape your reality. They determine your actions, which in turn create the life you live. And if your thoughts are filled with negativity, doubt, and fear, your actions will reflect that. You'll play small. You'll hold yourself back. You won't take risks because you'll be too afraid of failure. But when you change your mindset, when you start thinking differently, when you start believing that you can, everything changes. Think about it for a moment. What's the one thing that's standing in the way of you achieving your goals? What's the one thing that's holding you back from taking that next step? from moving closer to your dreams? More than likely, it's you. It's that little voice in your head telling you that you're not good enough, that it's too hard, that you're not ready. But guess what? You're always ready. You have everything you need inside of you. You just need to believe in yourself. The battle within is a battle of belief. It's a battle between what you think you can do and what you actually can do. And I'm here to tell you, you are capable of more than you can even imagine. But you'll never know what you're truly capable of until you start believing in yourself. Until you start telling yourself, yes, I can, until you decide that fear and doubt no longer have power over you. Look, no one's journey is easy. No one's path to success is without struggle. But the struggle is part of the process. It's the fire that forges you into who you need to become. You don't get stronger by avoiding the hard stuff. You don't grow by staying comfortable. The only way to become the person you're meant to be is by facing the challenges, by fighting through the fear, by getting uncomfortable. And the only way to do that is to overcome the voice inside your head that tells you to stop. In the end, the battle is about choice. It's about the decision you make when things get tough. Do you choose to give in to fear and doubt, or do you choose to keep going? Do you choose to keep going? Do you choose to listen to that inner critic, or do you decide to drown it out and push forward no matter what? Every moment, every decision is a battle. And every time you choose to move forward, every time you choose to take action in the face of fear, you win. You silence that voice, you take control. There will be times when you fall. There will be moments when you fail. But don't let those moments define you. Don't let them convince you that you're not good enough. Because failure is not the end. Failure is part of the process. It's how you learn. It's how you grow. Every successful person has failed along the way. What separates them from the rest is that they didn't let failure stop them. They didn't let it convince them that they weren't capable. They got back up. They fought through the fear, and they kept going. And that's exactly what you need to do. The battle within is also a battle of resilience. It's about bouncing back after every setback. It's about refusing to let the world or your own mind tell you that you can't do something. It's about standing up every time you fall, dusting yourself off, and moving forward. Resilience is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. It's not about never failing. It's about getting back up every time you do. So what are you going to do? Are you going to let that voice inside your head control you? Or are you going to take control of it? Are you going to let fear and doubt keep you stuck? Or are you going to push past them? The choice is yours. The battle is within you, and it's a battle that you can win. But it starts with believing in yourself, even when it feels impossible. It starts with trusting that you have what it takes, even when you can't see the way forward. It starts with choosing to move forward, no matter how hard it gets. You've got everything you need to succeed. You just have to believe it. The battle is within you, and when you choose to fight, you'll find that there's nothing you can't overcome. There's no magic formula. There's no shortcut to success. If you're looking for an easy way to get what you want, you're in the wrong place. Success comes from relentless hard work day in, day out, no excuses. The world doesn't care about your dreams unless you're willing to put in the work. It doesn't care about your potential unless you're willing to show up. Put in the effort and prove that you've earned it. Too many people are looking for a quick fix for something that's going to save them from the grind. But that's not how life works. You don't get to the top without sacrifice. You don't get to your goals without pushing yourself beyond what you thought was possible. The road to success is paved with sweat, pain, and determination. It's about putting in the hours when no one's watching, doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. It's about waking up early and staying up late to make sure you're getting closer to your goal with every single day that passes. If you're not willing to put in that work, then don't complain when you don't see the results. Don't complain when it feels like the world is passing you by. Because what separates those who succeed from those who don't is the willingness to work when others won't. It's the ability to keep pushing when you're tired, to keep moving when you're frustrated, to keep going when everything inside you is telling you to stop. Relentless hard work isn't just about putting in the hours. It's about putting in the effort no matter how hard it gets, no matter how many obstacles you face. The truth is, most people are looking for the path of least resistance. They want to do the minimum and get the maximum return. They want the rewards without the sacrifice. But the reality is that success doesn't work that way. Success demands more. It demands your all. It demands your focus, your time, and your energy. It demands your persistence in the face of adversity. If you're not willing to work for it, you'll never achieve what you're capable of. And here's another truth: hard work isn't always glamorous. It's not about the fancy titles or the recognition. It's about the grind, the hustle, the day-to-day commitment to getting better, even when no one is applauding you. It's about pushing through the setbacks, the failures, the rejections, and still getting up and doing it all over again. Because every time you face a setback, you have a choice. You can either let it defeat you or you can use it as fuel to keep moving forward. It's not about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you get up. And the hard work you put in isn't just about working for the sake of working. It's about working smart. You need to understand that time is your most precious asset. You can always get more money, you can always buy more things, but you can't buy more time. So how you use that time is critical. Are you wasting it on things that don't matter? Are you spending your hours on distractions, on things that won't move you closer to your goals? Or are you investing your time wisely? Are you using every moment to improve, to grow, to get one step closer to where you want to be? Working hard means being disciplined. It means saying no to things that will hold you back, even when they seem tempting. It means focusing on what's important, even when it's easier to get distracted by the noise of the world. And this discipline isn't just about the big things. It's about the small choices you make every single day. It's about the decisions you make when no one is watching. It's about how you spend your free time, how you take care of your body, how you prepare yourself mentally for the challenges ahead. Success is the result of consistent, focused effort. It's about showing up, putting in the work, and doing the things that others won't do. The things that will set you apart are the things that aren't easy. When you push yourself to do what others won't, you begin to rise above the crowd. But it takes time. It takes patience. You don't become successful overnight. The foundation for greatness is built through years of hard work and sacrifice. But when you look back on it, you'll see that it was worth every ounce of effort. Here's the thing: you don't get to complain about the things you're not willing to work for. Success is earned, not given. You don't get the rewards without the work. And that's where too many people fail. They want the glory, but they're not willing to put in the hours. They want the recognition, but they're not willing to sacrifice. They want the accolades, but they don't want to do the work that makes them worthy of those accolades. If you're serious about success, you've got to be willing to pay the price. And that price is hard work. It's waking up early, staying up late, and pushing yourself to the limit every day. It's about building the habits that will help you succeed in the long run. It's about putting in the time, even when it feels like nothing is happening. It's about trusting the process, even when you don't see immediate results. Because here's the truth: it's not about how fast you get there. It's about how consistent you are, how persistent you are, and how willing you are to put in the work day after day, year after year. People often look at successful individuals and think they must have had it easy. They must have had some kind of advantage, but they didn't. No one who is truly successful has had it handed to them. They've all had to put in the work. They've all had to go through the struggles, the failures, the setbacks. They've had to fight through their own doubts and fears, just like you. The difference is they didn't quit. They didn't let the difficulty stop them. They kept working, kept pushing, kept striving, and that's what you have to do too. The work is never easy. It's never comfortable. But that's where growth happens. It's in the discomfort, the challenges, and the struggles. It's in the moments when you feel like you can't go any further, but you dig deep and find the strength to push on. That's where the real magic happens. That's when you become the person you're meant to be. So don't shy away from hard work. Embrace it. Welcome it. Understand that it's the key to everything you want. You don't get the reward without the effort. But when you put in the work, when you give it everything you've got, you will see the results. It might not happen overnight. It might not happen as quickly as you want it to. But if you stay committed, if you stay disciplined, if you keep pushing forward, the results will come. Because relentless hard work is the price of success. And if you're willing to pay that price, there's nothing you can't achieve. Doubt and fear are the two most paralyzing forces you'll ever face. They live inside your mind, creeping in quietly, gradually growing louder, more persistent, until it feels like they've taken control. It doesn't matter who you are or how strong you think you are, at some point, doubt and fear will challenge you. They'll tell you that you're not enough, that you're not capable, that you can't possibly succeed. And if you listen to them, if you give in to their grip, they will keep you stuck. They will stop you before you even get started. They will rob you of the opportunities that could change your life. They will make you second guess everything and paralyze you with uncertainty. But here's the hard truth: the only way to defeat them is to face them head on, to confront them with everything you've got. Doubt is a liar. It will tell you that you don't have what it takes, that you're not strong enough, not smart enough, not talented enough. It will tell you that the odds are stacked against you, that you don't stand a chance. And fear will do the same thing. Fear will make you question everything, every step you take. It will make you afraid to move forward, afraid to make decisions, afraid to take risks. Fear will make you feel small, like your dreams are too big, too out of reach. It will tell you that failure is waiting around every corner, that every risk you take is a potential disaster. And if you let fear and doubt control you, they will keep you from stepping into the life you deserve. But here's the thing: fear and doubt are natural. They are a part of every person's journey. No one is immune to them. No one is born without them. Every successful person you see, every person who has achieved greatness has had to battle these demons. They've had to face fear, doubt, and uncertainty just like you. But what separates them from those who never achieved their potential is that they refuse to let doubt and fear stop them. They understood that those feelings don't define them. They understood that fear and doubt are temporary, but the regret of not trying is permanent. And that's what you need to understand too. The battle against doubt and fear starts in your mind. It starts with the thoughts you allow to take root in your head. Doubt doesn't come from the outside, it comes from within. It's born from your own insecurities, your own fears, your own lack of belief in yourself. And the first step in overcoming it is recognizing that you are in control. You have the power to shape your thoughts. You have the power to decide whether you believe the negative thoughts or whether you reject them. Every time doubt creeps in, every time fear starts to take hold, you have a choice. You can either let them dictate your actions or you can challenge them and keep moving forward. When doubt starts to whisper that you're not good enough, you have to counter it with the truth. You have to remind yourself that you are capable, that you have everything you need to succeed, and that you are worthy of the success you desire. You have to tell yourself that your past doesn't define your future, that the mistakes you've made are just stepping stones on the path to greatness. You have to drown out the voices of doubt with the truth of your potential. Every time you face that doubt, you have to tell yourself, I can do this. I am worthy. I am enough. Fear is trickier because it doesn't always show up in the same way as doubt. Fear can be subtle. It can be the hesitation you feel before making a big decision. It can be the feeling in your stomach when you think about taking a risk. Fear will make you want to play it safe, to stay in your comfort zone, to avoid the discomfort of growth. But you have to recognize that fear is nothing more than an illusion. Fear is not real. It's just your mind creating stories about what could happen. It's your mind imagining worst-case scenarios, and the truth is, most of the things you fear will never happen. Fear is a product of your imagination. And while imagination is a powerful tool, it can also work against you. The key is to stop letting it control you. The way to overcome fear is to take action in spite of it. The more you avoid the things you fear, the more power you give to that fear. But the more you face it head on, the less power it has over you. Every time you act in spite of fear, you weaken its grip. Every time you step into the unknown, take a risk, and challenge yourself, fear becomes a little less frightening. Fear is only as powerful as you allow it to be. When you make the decision to push through it, you start to build confidence. You start to realize that the worst case scenario is rarely as bad as your mind makes it out to be. And even if things don't go as planned, you'll learn and grow from the experience. You'll know that you can handle whatever comes your way. And that's where real growth happens, when you face your fears, when you take action despite your doubts, when you step into the unknown with courage. That's when you start to build resilience. That's when you start to realize that you are capable of so much more than you thought. Because here's the truth: nothing worthwhile is ever achieved without risk. Nothing great happens without stepping outside your comfort zone. Success requires you to take chances, to make bold moves, and to trust in your ability to figure things out along the way. If truly are false narratives, lies your mind is telling you to keep you safe, to keep you small. But you don't grow by staying small. You grow by challenging yourself, by pushing through those feelings, and by taking action anyway. Another powerful way to overcome fear and doubt is to focus on the process, not the outcome. So many people get overwhelmed by the end result, the big goal, the end destination, that they get paralyzed before they even start. They worry about how they'll look if they fail, about what people will think, about how much work it will take. But the truth is, all you can control is what you do right now. You can't control the future. You can't control how things will unfold. But you can control your effort, your attitude, and your actions in this moment. Focus on taking one step at a time. Focus on doing the work. The more you focus on the process, the less room there is for fear and doubt to creep in. When you focus on what you can do right now, you stop worrying about what might go wrong, and you start focusing on what you can do to move forward. Finally, understand that overcoming doubt and fear is a daily practice. It's not something you do once and then forget about. Something you have to work on every single day. The more you practice facing your fears, the easier it becomes. The more you practice rejecting the voices of doubt, the more confident you become. Overcoming fear and doubt isn't about eliminating them completely. It's about learning how to handle them. It's about acknowledging their presence and choosing to move forward anyway. It's about building the resilience to keep going even when you're scared, even when you're uncertain, even when you don't have all the answers. Fear and doubt are inevitable. They are part of the human experience. But they don't have to control you. You have the power to challenge them, to rise above them, and to keep moving forward in spite of them. And when you do, you'll discover a version of yourself that is stronger, braver, and more capable than you ever imagined. You're here right now at this moment in your life, standing at the crossroads of your own future. You might not see it, but every single choice you make, every action you take, every decision you make today has the power to shape the life you're going to lead tomorrow. Your future is not something that happens to you. It's something you create. And that starts with taking responsibility for it. Too many people live their lives waiting for things to happen, waiting for someone to come along and give them the opportunity they've been waiting for. They sit back and hope for a change, pray for a miracle, wait for the right moment to come around. But here's the truth: waiting will get you nowhere. The only way you can guarantee that you'll get to the future you want is by taking full responsibility for it every single day. Taking responsibility for your future isn't about luck, it's about ownership. It's about looking at your life and saying, I am in control of my destiny. I am in charge of what happens next. It's about stepping up and realizing that the choices you make today will determine where you end up tomorrow. The decisions you make now, the way you handle yourself, the actions you take all set the stage for your future. So if you don't like where you are, if you don't like where you're headed, it's time to look in the mirror and take responsibility. Because only you have the power to change your course. Too many people want to blame others for their circumstances. They want to point fingers at the people who didn't support them, the systems that held them down, the economy, their upbringing, their lack of resources. But the moment you start blaming other people, the moment you make excuses, you give up your power. You give up the ability to change your life because you're too busy looking outward instead of looking inward. The truth is, no one else is responsible for your success but you. No one else is responsible for your happiness, your achievements, your progress, your failures, or your setbacks. It's all on you. And that's actually a good thing, because when you take full responsibility, you also gain full control. Taking responsibility for your future means being honest with yourself. It means taking a hard, unflinching look at where you are right now and acknowledging that you are the one who got yourself here. Your habits, your mindset, your decisions, or your lack of decisions have all played a role in where you find yourself today. You can't keep telling yourself that you're a victim of circumstance. You can't keep blaming other people or the world for your problems. You have to be brutally honest about what you're doing or not doing that's keeping you from getting where you want to go. You can't make excuses anymore. You have to own your choices, your actions, your mistakes, and your successes. It's time to stop hiding behind your fears, your doubts, and your insecurities. If you want something different, if you want a different life, you have to make the decision to go after it. You have to take responsibility for the work, for the effort, and for the mindset it takes to change your circumstances. You can't expect someone else to come in and rescue you. No one is coming to fix your life. You have to fix it yourself. And that starts by taking responsibility for everything, every failure, every setback, every mistake, and every success. Because when you take full responsibility, you free yourself from the limitations you've placed on yourself. Taking responsibility for your future doesn't mean that you have to have all the answers right now. It doesn't mean that you have to know exactly how everything is going to play out. It doesn't mean that you won't face challenges, that things won't go wrong, or that you won't experience setbacks. It simply means that you are committed to taking control of your own life and that you're willing to face whatever comes your way. It means you are willing to take the necessary steps to make your dreams a reality, no matter how long it takes. It means you understand that nothing worth having comes easy, and you are prepared to put in the work, to sacrifice, and to do whatever it takes. Every single day is a new opportunity. Every single day you get to make choices that will impact your future. You can decide to continue down the path you're on, or you can choose to make a change. You can decide to let fear or doubt control your actions, or you can decide to face those feelings head on and keep moving forward anyway. You can decide to continue to blame your circumstances, or you can decide to take full responsibility and change your circumstances. The power is in your hands, and that power is incredibly liberating. Because once you realize that you are in control, that you are responsible for what happens next, there's nothing that can stop you. Now, taking responsibility for your future isn't always easy. It requires discipline, it requires focus, and it requires courage. You will be tested and you will face obstacles. You will fall short at times and you will make mistakes. But that's part of the process. What matters is that you learn from those experiences, that you don't let them define you, and that you keep moving forward. Every time you take responsibility, every time you step up and take action, you get stronger. And with that strength comes the confidence to keep going, to keep fighting, and to keep building the future you want. It's also important to understand that taking responsibility doesn't mean doing everything on your own. It doesn't mean shutting people out or refusing help. Taking responsibility is about understanding that while you may need support, you are the one who must take the first step. You are the one who must make the decisions. You are the one who must make the changes. You are the one who must take the initiative. But that doesn't mean you can't lean on others for guidance, advice, or mentorship. It simply means that you're the one who is ultimately responsible for your success or failure. You are the one who will either rise or fall based on your decisions. You might not see the results of your efforts immediately, and that can be frustrating. But don't be discouraged. It takes time to build something meaningful. It takes time to change your habits, to shift your mindset, to create new opportunities. But if you stay consistent, if you continue to take responsibility, and if you keep putting in the work, you will start to see progress. And that progress will fuel your determination to keep going. Every small win, every lesson learned, every step forward is a part of the journey. And over time, those small wins will compound into something much bigger. You have the power to shape your future, but it's up to you to take action. It's up to you to make the decision to stop waiting for someone else to make things happen and to take control of your own life. The future you want doesn't just appear, it's created step by step, decision by decision. If you don't like where you are, change it. Don't wait for the perfect moment because it doesn't exist. Don't wait for everything to be aligned because it never will be. Start right now with what you have and keep moving forward. You have the power to design the life you want. And it all starts with taking responsibility for your future.